How's it going? YouTube, what's up? Sleepless Plays back at it again here with another YouTube video for this month. And this month I thought we were going to do some Rocket League, but no Rocket League gameplay this time. No. 15 days ago, it was the RLCS World Championships. So there's people like Johnnyboi and CJCJ, Dizz, Dazerin, and Tbates that do the top 24 Rocket League players before or after a major. But I thought I'd take it a step further, so I'm going to do for you ranking the top 48. Yes, that's right. Every single Rocket League player that competed at the RLCS World Championships 15 days ago on a tier list. Not on a tier list, on a WordPad list. Close enough. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So, oops. A little bit of a spoiler there. Okay, so this is top 48 RLCS players at Champs. Disclaimer, we're not counting Swiss. Tiebreaker, because that was only for seeding. So that will not be taken into effect in this video. And also, there are, I believe, 8 plays / goals / saves of the tournament that I have on the list, and we'll be taking a look at that. Shout out to this channel right here, Rocket League Highlights for the clips. But yeah, let's take a look at a little bit of the tournament here. It's the World Championships. Obviously, BDS was the winners. The French are just dominant at Rocket League. America close second, G2, you know, America's favorite team. Atomic Daniel and Beast Mode just being just a monster in 2024, just a machine, an absolute demon. Shout out also. And a second best team, Space Station, Genji. We'll get to you fucks later. But yeah, that is a little bit of the preview for the tournament. So let's preview the list. So number 48 on our list, as you might have seen earlier, Exu. He had an assist. That's all he did. Might as well not even showed up. The APAC region, not phenomenal right here. Maxu, Virtuoso, and Tho. A little bit of a spoiler. Virtuoso and Tho coming in at 46 and 47. Virtuoso at least had a goal and an assist. Tho, he popped off a tiny bit. Just a little bit. He had 2 goals and an assist, I believe, and goal from the corner, which was pretty good. But yeah, that's it for that team. The next one, Sweaty. He was Limitless's worst player. He was all right. He was better than the three of the Gaming Gladiators, that's for sure. Nolly comes in next for OG. Snowy had a few decent goals, and he had a decent pop-off moment. He had a lot of energy. He was like getting up and yeah! He was screaming and all that. He played pretty good. Jane Apps did, you know, okay. Nova Scotia lives a province away from me, but yeah, he didn't do great. Their team didn't do great. So the first goal of the tournament, actually, we're going to be looking at is To Die For. And if you haven't noticed already, I am sick and just getting over a cold. So you're going to have to deal with it because I've been dealing with it for 3 to 4 days now. So To Die For has the first goal of the tournament versus Game 2 versus QT Pioneers. And we're going to look at that right now. It was the game winner for Game 3. Spoiler.
And To Die For, will it bounce off?
First day Friday with the crowd. Absolute great play from To Die For.
Limitless.
Filthy name too.
Game number 2. And don't they love it? Look at him launching
They
downfield.
stole game number 2. There it was. So the next player after To Die For, who, you know, was Limitless's best player and played decent, is Chronic and then Amphis. Chronic was Genji's worst player. Their second worst is coming up. Don't worry. You're probably going to hate me for it if you're a fan of his, but newsflash, don't care. Amphis was, you know, decent. We're starting to get into the players that played, you know, okay. After, I'd say, Nolly. So these are the players that played okay. Then it was Calm. Calm was by far OG's best player. He had, I believe, 6 goals, 4 assists, I think. Something like that. Mata's next for Team Secret. He was a little bit better than Calm, so that's why he's ahead of him. Then we have Brad. Brad had a little bit of pop-off moments. I was noticing he did a lot for Team Secret. He was doing quite a bit. Not a lot of highlight plays, but a lot of clutch moments for Brad. First Killer's next. Like, you had 2 flashy goals. So what? First killer is reportedly leaving Gen G and going to team with LJ. He cannot play defense. I don't get it. How can you be a pro for, what, 4 or 5 years now, and you are that bad at defense? For the amount of mechanics and flashiness that First Killer has, he is... I'm sorry, he's horrendous at defense. I notice at least twice a game. Not most players, it's like once or twice a series. Him, it's twice a game. He's horrid at defense. His flashiness makes up for it. People still think he's like a top 10 player in the world. Mind-blowing to me. Can't play defense. You gotta be an all-around player to be a top 10 player in the world. FK. KV1 was next. He had so many demos and goals and bumps and assists for Secret. He was by far their best player. He was really good. He had a double demo assist on one of the plays that I thought it was good, but it didn't make a play of the tournament. Alpha was the worst player for Vitality at 33. He had 1 pass to Radosin that was a filthy pass, maybe pass to the tournament, I'm not sure. I didn't make the effort to go back and check because it was only a slight corner pass, maybe like a 3-foot pass to Radosin, but still, it was a good pass. It was a good pass, but that's about the only thing he did. Torsauce turned back the clock, man. Torsauce, shout out you. He was popping off a little bit. That's why he's coming to 32. And then 31, we have Fiber. The big man was, he was doing a lot. Not a whole lot, but enough to grab the number 31 spot. Next we have, whoa. Calm down there. Trying to go down 1 at a time, not 100 at a time. Next we have Fever with a goal of the tournament contender. Game 3 against G2. And if you know what I'm talking about, this upside down redirect to the close side, a little bit of help from the G2 players. Still a filthy goal.
Torsauce to Fever. Gets away from Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Fever with a goal of the tournament contender. Skims
a little bit of help from Atomic right there, but I mean, what a goal from Fever. What a brilliant goal. After Fever coming in at number 29, we're now in the top 30. We have Hoxer from Space Station. He was their worst player, but he actually did better than I thought he did after watching all of the highlights and the goals and the assists. I do have a system. Basically, 1 point if you were a majority play if your contribution counted towards the majority of the goal that went in, you got a point. 0.5 if you had like a bump or an assist or like an open net or something like that. And 1.5 if you were most of the play, say if you took the ball from your half, air dribbled it all the way across, past like 1 or 2 defenders and had a goal, that's 1.5. If you had a goal or play or something of the tournament, then I gave you 2 points. So that's basically how it was until about the top 15 where it gets kind of confusing because you have players like, spoiler alert, like Rawas, who had the most points, but is not number 1 just because of some decisions I made. Again, Falcons, they didn't win the tournament, so why would Rawas be number 1? They didn't make grand finals, they didn't even make semifinals, so, you know, well, technically 3-4. I believe so. 3-4? 3-4 Falcons? Yeah, 3-4. Okay, so next, after Hoxer, we have, I did the thing again. Incredibly scuffed, right? Incredibly scuffed. There we go. Apparently Jack with a goal of the tournament contender against BDS. This could be my goal of the tournament, but it's not. But it's, I'd say it's number 2. Game 3 versus BDS, apparently Jack.
They catch a Gen G off, and they respond demo for demo. Napjack has a moment to...
What's the angle? And it finishes in the top right as well, off the bar. CJ says it best. Might be goal of the tournament. That's filthy. We've seen that goal before, but at Champs versus the now best team in the world, I don't know. Pretty good. Napjack coming in, number 28. One better than him, though, Super Lucky went crazy at some points. He had, I think my final score for him was about 15.75, beating Abjack by 0.5 points in the goals, assists, and contributions of the player. But he was going absolutely crazy for them at one point. Juicy played pretty decent for Gentlemates, but not decent enough. Only decent enough to crack the top 26. Number 25, you have Yan from Furia. Probably Yan's worst tournament in a while. He was the worst player on the team. He's usually the best South American player, but he didn't do a whole lot. He just didn't. I don't know. Just didn't. Seiko next. Seiko in the top 24, so the top half now of the RLCS players at Worlds. Seiko was, if I had it my way, he'd be in the top 10. I always seen just his little goal explosion, the little gun thing, pew, 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 just everywhere he was involved. Defensively, he was involved. Offensively, Seiko was a beast. Former world champion, Seiko the Psycho. Always what I call him. Absolute, he was insane. Radosin went crazy for Vitality. He actually was their best player. He was their best player. Zen's obviously going to be ahead of him, but Radosin, I find, was their best player. Involved in the most saves, in the most goals, in the most assists, in the most basically everything. He has the save of the tournament versus Oxygen, and if you don't know it, I wouldn't be surprised. It's only game 3 against Oxygen, their elimination game, which I believe they did end up losing. Yeah, they did 3-1 to Oxygen, but this save is ridiculous to get Vitality their first win on the board against Oxygen.
Well, Oxygen need the 0 seconds.
Look at this save. Oh my god! He has, how many boosts does he have?
More time off the clock. The Psycho.
He's using his boost right now to basically leave that. Goes back to his net. He has 1 shot. Can't tell his boost because he already has a shot. He has under 10 boost, I believe. Archie deflection. Oh my god, off the bar and everything. The crowd goes absolutely nuts. And then it hits the ground and Vitality takes that game. Radosin with his headset off probably because he's screaming, popping off probably. He does have a lot of energy, him. 22 now. We have Zen, obviously, Radosin's Tbate. Former best player in the world. Probably still currently the best player in the world for some people. He's not Afro Zen though. If he was Afro Zen, he would still have his powers. Now he has like straight hair and stuff. Lost all his powers. Not all of them, just most of them. Number 21, Itachi. Itachi was a really good player for Gentlemates. He had the most goals. He had second most assists next to Seiko. He again, I hate to use this phrase over and over again, he was going crazy for them. Now, number 20, Jerfinho. Jerfinho was Furia's second best player. He contributed in a lot of goals and assists, and there's not much more I have to say about that. Chicago was Space Station's second best player as well. I didn't think Chicago played as good as he did, and then I went back through the highlights. Chicago had a lot of go-ahead and clutch and overtime goals. He had about at least 10 tying goals or game-winning goals. He was doing good for Space Station. He was doing good. Joyo, number 18. Not necessarily a bad tournament for Joyo, but not a super explosive one that we've seen him have in the past. He did contribute for his team. Contribute or however you want to say it, for his team quite a bit, but, you know, only for the 18th spot. 17, we have lost by far Furia's best player. Not really by far, Jerfinho's right there. But he was Furia's best player. Probably did more in the Swiss, but I didn't count the Swiss. So, again, 16, we have Banana Head. Banana Head, I have 5 series beside him. He had more points than a lot of people give him credit for. He had a 19 score, and he only played in 5 series. He played in how many games did B-Head play in? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19. He had 19 points in 19 games. Not necessarily 19 assists or goals, but 19 ways he, you know, contributed to that in only 5 series. But Banana Head, obviously, he was a menace on the pitch. Vatira was next for KC. Vatira was okay. He wasn't the Vatira of old, just like Joyo. They are looking to pick up Drawley, which, spoiler alert, Drawley went nuts. That is a great pickup for them. So it's going to be Vatira, Atto, and Drawley if the deal can get finished on KC, letting go of Rise. But again, Vatira had a decent tournament, but he was a majority of the reason why KC finished where they did. LJ, play the tournament contender next. Game 3 Vitality. If you know, you know. We're going to let it speak for itself.
Lovely touch. LJ waiting for it. First touch let him down, but he can't recover it. That is the joy of having brilliant mechanics.
You can turn anything into magic.
A magical player.
LJ's remarkable. Gets the touch over. Gets the extra
Flip
touch into
reset,
a reset
demo.
into a demo.
It's a Z.
All LJ all the time. So LJ comes in number 14 spot. Number 13, we have Rise from KC. Rise was more of a team player than basically Vatira was. Vatira had more goals, but Rise had more bumps and assists and demos and saves and stuff like that. Vatira had a lot of misplays, that's why he's at 15. Rise at 13, because he was a little bit better. Atomic for G2 comes in at number 12. He's not in top 10. He did good in the Swiss. He did good in the quarterfinals. Semifinals, he wasn't really there too much. In grand finals, he had probably the misplay of the last 5 years, allowing the World Championship goal to basically be an open net. You hate to see it. It happens. It's Rocket League. It's game. It's bumps. You know, this is Rocket League. It happens. Next, we have TRK. TRK, again, did a lot more than I thought. I thought it was mostly Rawaz and Killers, which it really was. But TRK, he had a lot of goals. But the Twins set him up quite a bit. But he still managed to finish the goal. He did have one play. He probably had the fake of the tournament. I'm not exactly sure where to find it, but he had the fake of the tournament where he was going against 2 players and he had a flip reset, didn't use it, and then went under them both. After TRK, we have Oski, who has played the tournament contender game 4 versus PDS. This happened on day 1. We were blessed to see this on day 1. This is filthy.
I'd love to see Joyo and Oski connect the same way that that exotic
squishy save, pinch, all the way downfield. We gotta see it again.
Monkey Moon.
See it again.
I'd love to see Joyo and Oski connect the same way that that exotic
squishy save right there from Oski's POV. If you've seen the short on our RLCS channel,
Monkey Moon.
You see it from his perspective.
But this goes all the way down.
What a pinch from Large Oscar, as Dazerin says. What an absolute pinch. Play of the tournament contender. Definitely play of the tournament from Oski right there. Monkey Moon at number 9. He had, I forgot to find something. Actually, I'm going to go find it right now. It's Archie's play. Oxygen versus... Who was that versus? Was it in their lost against the Mates? I think it was. So we'll actually go find that right now on the old YouTube here. So I believe it was Saturday. So it'll be day 5, I do believe.
Win over the crowd.
Pause this. This is how I find most of the plays right here.
They've not actually become.
I have no idea where it is. So.
And we see Oxygen with that lead. And
it's not that. It is a Joyo goal though. It's not Archie goal. We'll find it here. Is it here? Yeah, it is here. It's right here. This is the pass of the tournament from Archie. This is unreal. Bumped, settles, tips, in overtime. Oxygen would go on to win the series. How dare you get bumped? How dare you get bumped and still make the play, Archie? So we'll just have that as pass of the tournament, I guess. Pass of the tournament. TOURNAMENT content. No, we'll just have that. Game. What was that? Game 5, I believe. I believe it was Game 5 versus. Game 5 versus. I don't even remember who it was, but anyways, that's. Archie's next. After Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon set up a lot of BDS's goals. He really did. He went pretty crazy in the game against G2 in the 7-game set. He did really good against the Team in Falcons. He didn't show up a lot in the grand final, which a lot of people will point out. But again, the GOAT of the open era, he does what he wants and comes in at number 9. Archie, we already seen it. Daniel after Archie. Gold tournament contender, game 6 versus BDS. Just the ice from this tiny human, this like 85-pound human. How are you this cold?
Atomic can't go any further. Oh, he can. He's got the fake out. There's so many players committed. Beast mode. Infield. Fake. They've got back.
It's so cold. Oh my god. And then the last play is coming up at our number 4 spot. Spoiler alert, yet again. But number 6, Clears, again, both the twins. Clears was more offense heavy. He was more goal heavy. He was more passing heavy. Actually, both goals and passing. With his twin, Ross. But Clears comes in at number 6. At number 5, we have Atau. If KC would have won the tournament, if all of the teams would have collectively placed the same, basically, Atau would have been my MVP. He was on both sides of the pitch. He was contributing in goals. He was contributing in assists. He was contributing in bumps and demos. He was doing everything. Number 4, I have Drawley. Drawley is my, and most people's Rookie of the Year. He has to be. Gold Tournament Contender, Game 4 versus G2. If you've seen Ahmed's 7th from Heaven, you're going to think, wow, that looks familiar. It's the same goal. In the grand finals against North America's number 1.
We did need Drawley. Well communicated there from BDS. Ceiling reset. Drawley looks for the basketball.
Momentum changer. Absolute momentum changer right there. The 7th from Heaven from Ahmed. The basketball shot. The Drawley specialty. There's Drawley's play. So now, number 3. Now we're into the top 3. This is where things get a little bit spicy here. So, number 3. So far we have left. We have Beast Mode. We have Was, who's coming in at number 3. Who's number 1? I forget. I will find out what number 1 is. It's probably the Golden Striker of the tournament. Ross, number 3, though. A lot of people said he didn't play very good defensively. He's the best defensive player in the world. How didn't he play good defensively? He had 1 or 2 mishaps every 2 series, maybe. Was Falcons' best player by far, just like Beast Mode was G2's best player by far. Beast Mode had clip after clip after clip after clip of the tournament. His goal number 4 right off the kickoff when he was back left against BDS. Lemon Kiwi was like, these guys can't be stopped, and then Beast Mode just comes out of nowhere and scores the 4th goal for them, and they are rolling through BDS. They win that game. Drawley scores that goal, the momentum shifts. Obviously, BDS takes the tournament, but there's only 1 player left. He is the Golden Striker. He's leaving BDS to team with Zen in Vitality. It's Exotic. Exotic had placement. He had goals. He had assists. He had bumps. He had demos. He did everything to help secure the World Championship for BDS. Exotic was a monster, and he has that absolute great picture of him on Twitter with the trophy, and he's got the medal, and it's like in his mouth, like what the tennis players do and stuff, and he's like sitting, and he's like, what, bitch? When you're the player of the tournament, you can do that. And yeah, that's basically all. That's going to be all for me for this video. So that is my top 48 players for RLCS at the World Championships. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and you know, YouTube will we'll see you later. Bye.